Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the week that we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and the Facebook impaired. I'm your humble host. I'm doing great. How are you all? Great. Let's get to the news. All right, it has been a hell of a week in the news. So many things going on. It's like, hard to get a grasp on. But ever since the pandemic, of course, there's been just a temporal rift where we are unstuck in time, and we'd like to hit a couple milestones so you can remember where you were when everything went down. So, so am I sharing the right screen here? Yes. Okay, good. So in Washington State's tax coffers are much higher. They raised over $3 billion from legalized marijuana. So they're going to be doing quite well there. I thought that was pretty cool. It's one of the first times I ever felt bad because in Illinois, we only got $560 million. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. There's more stoners in Washington than in Illinois. And then I remembered, oh, that's right, because we have better dealers. So
yeah.
Speaking of other states, here's something that happened in the news is phenomenal. It was 67 degrees in Alaska, smashing their record for the highest recorded temperature in December. So baked Alaska in the news. Here's another statistic to start the year off with. During 2021, Bitcoin consumed 134 terawatt hours in total, which is comparable to the electrical energy consumed by a country like Argentina. Related CO2 emissions were 64 megatons, enough to negate the entire global net savings from deploying EVs. And let's all remember that the guy with the EVs that some people think is trying to save the planet also invests in Dogecoin. So on balance, not saving things. Not saving.
Well, you got to invest in that Dogecoin, Eric. I mean, it's going up, 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 up.
Yeah. So breaking news as we went to press. North Carolina voters are challenging Madison Cawthorne's candidacy based upon that delightful upon the constitutional amendment that says that if you've participated in an insurrection, you can no longer be in elected office. So Section 3, 14th Amendment, they have barred. They're asking the voters of North Carolina are challenging Madison Cawthorne's candidacy, which is great because he's a douchebag. The Chicago public schools, after returning from winter break, have sort of shut down here because the Chicago teachers are refusing to work in schools starting last Wednesday. And normally we would ask our resident Chicago public school teacher, Andrew, about this situation, but he is too busy not working. Also, union leaders said under the proposal that members would return next week to hand out computers for remote learning and help to get students all signed up for testing and vaccinations. But I note that Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago made this announcement remotely, her staff all working remotely. And I thought maybe they might want to relocate to a Chicago public school, since I hear that is the safest place in Chicago right now. And we always close with some happy news or some good news or something, at least. The number 2 most clicked science story of the year, no description necessary. ScienceAlert.com passes on that a cephalopod has passed a cognition test designed for human children. And in a related story, the United Kingdom has declared that octopuses and squids are sentient beings. They can feel pain, pleasure, hunger, thirst, warmth, joy, comfort, and excitement, and now have new rights, which I think is unbelievable and very, very cool. So there's a Squid Game you didn't hear about.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's
now I will be missing my calamari, but I'll make do with it. And in my final story here, unfortunately, Paul Stamets in Seattle, Washington has published evidence for mycelial intelligence. That's right. The fungus in these experiments showed spatial recognition, memory, and intelligence. It's a conscious organism. So before that sinks in and fungus gets special rights, George, Michael, we have got to do shrooms. And that has been the news for January 10th, 2020. Book for Blind.
Mushrooms being sentient is like the worst news for vegans That's horrific.
Thank you.
I'm not even vegan, and I feel horrible for them.
I'm already freaked out.
I think that they're probably going to prove that all plants are sentient, probably.
Yeah,
They communicate with each other.
In some way or another, yeah, that's the thing. And it's kind of, yeah.
I think we could all see that a lot clearer if we were on mushrooms right now. Handing it off to some funny memes with George.
Talking like I'm not. All right. This is the top panel is a big, strong Tom from Tom and Jerry over a bunch of beakers and chemicals saying drug cartels secretly making drugs. And then on the bottom is a sort of cutesy Tom there in front of a camera. It's labeled the Netflix documentary crew. And I don't know if have y'all seen any of the like drug making documentaries about whether it's Vice or Netflix or whatever. It's sort of, come in and film our secret drug making operation. That's right.
Like Undercover Boss.
Yep. This is labeled, I'm still trying to figure out how the hell my grandma pulled this off. And it's what appears to be a 80s Sony TV with the knobs and dials. And it's got a Roku background on it. I know exactly how she set that up. She had a cable to the, it's the cable adapter to the red, white, yellow, because they have Rokus that still did that. Yep.
Nice.
I used to do shit like that all the fucking time. This one's from at BD Jansen PhD. It says, "Oh, you like bad boys? Well, sometimes I cite articles I've only skimmed."
I'm in that meme.
Yeah, I'm in that meme too. I feel seen.
Yeah. This one's a classic.
That's everybody that I work with is in that meme.
This one's been rolling around for a while. I like this. It's a trade offer. I receive nothing. Don't worry about it. You receive a big wooden horse. And then at the bottom, it's a sort of, I guess, Trojan-looking guy with his hands together somewhat deviously. Yeah. That's it. Here's one. Me and my e-girl just had the nastiest e-sex, but I think I caught an NFT.
Oh no.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let's just keep. Andrew's not here, so I'm just going to keep with complete nonsense. This is Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. Frosted Static. It's baked with real TV. My friend noticed this when I sent it to him. The frosting on there, even though it's static, looks really good. I would love for them to put that frosting. I want static frosting on my stuff. I got to figure out how to do that. I'm a chef. Should figure that out, George. I got one more, and then I'm gonna hand it over. Here we go. Yeah. This is from at Chris_honeybee. It says he says overhead, but it means overheard at the dispensary. Bud tender, sir, can you put a mask on, please? Sir, sure. I'm sorry. I'm from Texas. We don't have all these regulations down there. We have freedom in Texas. And bud tender, isn't weed like a felony in Texas? Yeah, essentially. I don't know if it's felony, but it's just someone being like, sorry, we have freedom in Texas at the weed store is fucking hilarious.
Or trying to get an abortion. Like,
right.
Texas.
Dude, I love it, man. I got to talk to a Texan who was an anti-vaxxer, and he said, man, I want to choose what I put in my body. And I was like, your body, your choice. I get it.
So I'm going to start off with Katie at FB4tB says, and this is how I'm rolling into 22. She says, I'm such a lovable bitch. I'm everyone's favorite piece of shit.
Hell yeah.
Something about the sentence, everyone's favorite piece of shit. Just
King
really
shit.
hit home.
I swear to God, I need that shit.
This is two panels, and the first panel is a picture of a young lady. It looks like she has a VR like headset on and a fake lightsaber, and it says, "Disney virtual reality will allow fans to relive their favorite Star Wars moment." In the second panel, we see the moment, and it's the moment that Anakin kills all the young Padawans.
Oh.
Like the worst possible moment of Star Wars ever.
People would do it.
Oh man, they would. Yeah. Tim the Enchanter at Tim the Godmocker. Pardon me.
Great. Shit.
Tim the Godmocker says he's begging you, and then he shows a tweet from Joel Osteen, who says, "Stop sending me this," and it's his picture next to a picture of the Joker from the Three Jokers, I think, and it's pretty goddamn close. He does look like the Joker.
Nice.
XYU says, "Sorry, Judge, I think you mean vehicular they slaughter, but yes, I hit them with a U-Haul."
Oh,
Yep.
so bad.
But yes, I hit them with a U-Haul. Sarah Morgan at Miss Sarah Morgan just writes, "Smells like," and then posts a picture of teen spinach. Smells like teen spinach.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
This is
Wow.
an alert that someone has, and they've circled it in red, and then they put a caption above that says, "Roses are red, quarantine is long, Amy, your camera is on, and everyone saw you hit a bong."
Wow.
Yeah.
I got this one up here for Eric from Salad Dazed on Instagram. Says, "Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, brother." And you see this biker, and he's got his cut on, and his cut is a skeleton reading a book, and it says library across the top, and at the bottom it says read to live, live to read. All patches on his cut. Library biker.
Oh,
Hey,
dude.
Eric, when are you getting one of those, Eric?
Hell yeah.
Eric, you need one of those, Eric.
Right after I get health
Okay.
insurance.
Okay.
You're making it gonna super hard to edit. Left Flank Veterans at Left Flank Vets post a picture of a fly and a piano, and it says the next song's called "Get Fucked." I didn't even bother to see what Left Flank Veterans was responding to. I didn't care. The next song's called "Get Fucked."
Yep.
All right, these are my last two, and they're both from Cliched Out. Dr. Alien Skier says, "Nurse, how do you rate your pain?" Me, 0 stars. Nurse, silent. Me, would not recommend. And lastly is that Cliched Out says, "Fitbits are just Tamagotchi, except the stupid animal you're trying to keep alive is you." That is the best Fitbit take I have ever heard.
That's the thing that would,
So dope.
or like if you have a take like that, like it just there's a feeling, and I've seen so many other things tweeted with that same feeling and vibe to
Yeah.
them, and that's what Twitter is. I love it.
Right.
Nice. All right, just gonna do a couple here and then hand it back to George. In our trademarked what we call wholesome round. This is a picture of the Beatles before they got really big. Yeah, it's a picture of the Beatles, but they're switched. It's a visual joke. Probably not the best. This one's got a picture of Snoop Dogg dressed as Santa reading from a book. Says, "I've waited 365 days to post this. 'Twas the nizzle before Chris Mizzle, all through the hizzle." Wanted to do that. Friend of the show, Brett Erickson. If you're not following Brett Erickson, you're missing out. Says, "Want to feel old? Ass eating used to be a kink." I just as an aside and completely unrelated, I miss Matt Brown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So here's one for the climate change fans, because we get requests for that all the time. The bulletin reports that Brussels Airlines runs 3,000 empty flights to maintain takeoff and landing slots. And James Felton replies, I'm going to have to use a shitload of paper straws to make up for this.
Yep.
I love, man, the paper straws are such a swing and a miss.
Crazy. Like, no matter how much I keep recycling, they keep dumping mercury into Lake Michigan. What the fuck, man? Like,
right, exactly.
Man, why won't they recycled enough?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like I've bought enough clothes from the thrift store to really reduce, eliminate my entire carbon footprint at this point. All right, moving on. We have a two-panel He-Man here from Cha Lan No, who says, and if you're not following Cha Lan No, you're missing out. Friend of the show, John Lan No. And remember, punks are nice people pretending to be bad, and hippies are bad people pretending to be nice. And the second one says, until next time, friends.
That's fucking awesome.
Always exceptions to the rule, but nowadays, more often than not, yeah.
And I had a friend of mine who said, what is it exactly that happens that makes hippies so bad? And I said, it's when they first pay property tax, something, somewhere around there.
I feel like most of the original hippies that are still around are like wealthy, or, like fucking just did. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't.
They inherited wealth. That's exactly what happened. They inherited wealth.
How they became hippies, yeah. Oh yeah, and Charles Manson. Fuck that.
Yeah. Sometimes they go into debt flipping houses, but whatever. Okay, so moving on. This is a brilliant one, and I got it a little bit too late. Bill Gerbron says, I was tired of all the people talking about the insurrection of January 6th everywhere. I just wanted to get away from it all, so I turned on Fox News. True story. I really wish I had thought of that, man. It sounds, I don't know what your January 6th anniversary was like, but I was just sweaty. It was just
Look at Roger's favorite puppy. Today on January 6th, we look at Roger Ailes' favorite puppy.
All right, two left, and then we're moving on. Friend of the show, a friend of Facebook for the Blind, Larry Smith says, you all want to make fun of Waffle House, but in the last days of the apocalypse, it will be the only restaurant in operation because the employees will look at everything going on around them and say, I've seen worse, and you'll be grateful for it. And I was like, man, Larry, yeah, absolutely. And closing it out, because we keep talking about Austin, I want to see an episode of Undercover Boss with Jesus visiting Joel Osteen Church.
Oh, that's amazing. Is that a skit? Has anybody filmed that yet?
Tell you what, man, I would watch.
Dude, you know what I want Jesus to be trying to escape a hurricane and try to take shelter in Joel Osteen's church. That's what I want.
Why is this locked, Joel?
Where the fuck is Joel? He got his $10 million compound again?
Yeah.
Joel, you piece of shit.
All right.
I gotta say something too. What was the second to last meme? You brought up something I wanted to talk about.
Larry Smith, Waffle House.
Waffle House, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So real quick, in Antioch, Tennessee, there was a shooter at the Waffle House at 3:00 in the morning, and another guest at Waffle House restrained him. And then because of that, because he saved so many people, he held him till the cops got there. The mayor invited him to meet with the mayor, and so this guy, this hero in Nashville, meets the mayor. And as soon as he sits down, they're like, "It's such an honor to meet you." And he says, "Hey, what are you gonna do about the potholes on 495?" This guy just can't stop being a hero. Like, everything about him is like so perfect.
That's amazing. But before you mentioned the pothole thing and like the meeting the mayor thing, I was just kind of like, so is this like? Is this a guy you knew? Like, is this because I don't like? Why would this be news? That like a shooter and somebody was
yeah. So there's a shooter. No, when you got it Friday night.
Fully understanding that like it's like walking into a movie theater or a public school nowadays. You fucking know what the fuck is up.
Right. You always gotta wear your sappy plates.
It's America. Honestly, I swear to God, dude. I was talking to my family earlier today, and we were talking about my fiance Chelsea. She got held up at her old job, like with she worked at a gas station and she got robbed. It turned out it was a fake.
Mach 1.
You don't know that in the moment. Like it looks like a real fucking gun, and it's horrifying. But in any case, like we were talking about that, and my sister's about to move like to urban, and she said like yeah, I almost got a place near there. I'm glad I didn't. And I was just like, where are you living? Like East Urbana? Like, yeah, I mean, it's essentially just America. If you live here, there's a decent risk, and in most places you go, that some shit might fucking happen. It's fucked up. And I feel like people really try to run from that a lot, and because it's not fun to think about on this comedy show. So let's
This is hilarious.
Sick segue for that Waffle House. Here, let's go back to the Waffle House. This is from at Emily on here posted a map and said, "Stay humble. Look at this Waffle House density map." And there's a bunch of, it's like blocks on top of, I think, each county or area, or just a grid with the most Waffle Houses. And there's one that's very clearly way the fuck top above all the other ones. And there's a reply to the tweet from at Minivan Mecca that says, "Whenever you speak to me, remember that I live in the Waffle House Tower and you don't."
I'm thinking Nashville.
But too high and mighty. Oh hell no! The Waffle House Tower. Any other guesses?
We know where it is.
I know where it is. Do you know where it is? Any other guesses?
Go ahead.
Oh, it's Atlanta. It's 1000% Atlanta.
Immediately north of Cartersville.
Waffle House beyond
32. Yep.
Beyond all the Waffle Houses you could imagine.
So real quick, stupid note. When my brother was managing restaurants and he'd just gotten all his health certifications, we went to a Waffle House, and every time we went to any restaurant, my brother was just like, violation, violation, violation. You go into a Waffle House and they got those eggs hanging in a basket. Violation. George, are you still rolling?
Yeah, supposedly.
Ostensibly still doing comedy, George Cruikshank.
Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. You know, I don't know. Is this comedy, man? Am I comedy? What do I do?
Am I comedy?
Conspiracy theorists. They used CGI to fake the moon landing. CGI in 1985. It's a frame from the Money for Nothing video. Yeah, they gotta load those refrigerators. The other thing they have is max headroom, which is equally just ridiculous. It's just so out there.
Dude, I'm gonna send you a documentary that helped me understand my conflicted relationship with Max Headroom. I sent it to Michael. Michael wasn't even born when Max Headroom was running around. And but you appreciated it, right?
Oh yeah, well I actually remembered Max Headroom from like I think it was actually the Pepsi ad.
Oh, sure.
I appreciate Max Headroom a lot just for being as weird as it was at the time. I didn't see it while it was out, and I saw a couple clips, but yeah. This meme is a picture of Will Smith from, I think, is it I Am Legend, where he's drinking something and he makes a wincing face. And it says, "Water fans explaining how you need it to live," and then parentheses, "Okay, addicts." 100 comments. Here's one. "Yeah, dude, I'm not addicted. Needs to constantly drink it to function properly. Has it pumped directly in his house."
Nice.
That's fucking...
Oh, my bad.
The absurdity of the internet really is what I love the most about it.
Indeed.
It's too crazy. is Ms. Piggy, and Kermit says, "Oh, Kermit, I have a question for you." It says, "Yes, Piggy. Where were you on January 6th?" And she's holding up a photo of him in front of the Capitol on fire, and he doesn't say anything. Kermit is also wearing a red hat. That's noteworthy.
Oh, man. Not
But
Kermit.
that it was a political compass, which I agreed with.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'll end out with this. This is from at Bogwitch, BOGGEWITCHE. This is my 2022 promise to capitalism. It says, "I think I will be bad for the economy on purpose." There's some type of Muppet back there. I don't know which one. Or an ostrich, spiny ostrich. Can't tell. Great meme.
Nice.
Nice round, George. All right, here I go. Round 2. At McPhee CEO says, "Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light." And then shows a picture that says refuse to be stored in black plastic sacks and placed in the containers provided.
No,
So I had
refuse
to
to.
read it again. And it's not refuse. He's reading it not as refuse, but as refuse, because weirdly, those are spelled exactly the same way in our dumb fuck language. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Refuse to be stored in black plastic sacks and placed in containers provided. Berman Supreme. I actually loaded this one up for last week, but for somehow I missed it. Because Berman Supreme sent this out. It just says, "Coworker, how was lunch?" And then it says "me." And it's a close up of a picture of a guy's eyes that are just so fucking bloodshot. This is I think this is a scene from The Last Airbender. George would know better than me.
Yes,
And
Last Airbender.
and he the main character, I forget his name. I want to say Gon, but that's the wrong anime. He's bowing to this older sage-looking man. And it says, "Me searching something on the internet, bowing to some random dude on a forum who had the same question 10 years ago." Academia Aesthetics posts a picture of this sculpture, and it's called
Wow.
"The Weight of Thought" by Thomas Leroux. And the head is like 100 times bigger than the body, and the body is just like hanging lifelessly because he can't do anything because of the weight of his head. I don't know. And one picture, the head is upside down and the body is next to it. The neck is like a, curve. It's really fucked up, but it's how I feel.
I'm sorry. The image of the image is very funny. The guy's face.
They are really weird, man. I mean, I think they're off-putting and hilarious, but
they're off-putting. But the one on the right cracks me the fuck up. I'm sorry. I would laugh my ass off.
Dude, I would laugh at these. I want to be really clear. I think they're really funny. I also think it is how it feels. Like when you get all lost in your head.
Yeah, that is
But
true.
it is absurd. It is absurd to look at. I mean, it is really strange.
Love it.
Love it.
This says cashews look like they'd heckle you if you got lost in a magical forest, and they really do look like mean little trolls. The cashew has what looks like an upside down bell pepper on top of it. Anyway, they look like dicks. I forgot to post these and I wanted to bring them on. It says Christmas Eve. What about Christmas Adam? Happy Christmas Adam to all men's rights activists. And then someone chimes in and says, "Please stop pestering us with things like this. This has nothing to do with men fighting for their rights. Eve is short for evening. Please don't turn activism into a joke. Thanks." And someone else wrote, "Someone isn't having a good Christmas Adam." This is dank leftist memes. There's a picture of Homer Simpson in bed, angry with a fedora on, and next to him is a copy of Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, and it says men's rights activists every year when they remember there's a Christmas Eve but no Christmas Adam. I just love anytime they troll those assholes.
That's awesome.
At Mexica Proletari says, "Me as a millennial with the radical Zoomer comrades," and it's just a big white dog And it says, I protect the baby, and her puppy, who's also a little white dog, says, fuck capitalism and the corporate state. And the relationship between millennials and Zoomers is quite endearing. Like, we really do love them. They're radical, and they're getting all the things right we got wrong. Like, it's it's nice.
Good time.
I don't know if I posted this one last week or not, but it's worth a retweet. If so, because it says retweet if you love mozzarella sticks. Big picture of mozzarella sticks and some marinara in the back. Oh, and at the bottom it says, or if you love sucking dick. Either of those two things, you should retweet this picture.
Retweet.
They've been around since like 2002, and they're the best fucking line. I love it so much.
So this is, I think this is my last one for this round. Yeah, it is. It's comic aspect. And this is Instagram. It's a picture of a flower, and it says, being a plant is awesome, bro. And the flower's all happy and has big eyes and big eyebrows. And then a dog walks up and pisses right on the flower in the next panel. And the third panel is a picture of the flower, eyes squinted, mouth just absolutely completely full with piss.
Full of piss.
And then the last panel is the same flower, all happy again, and it just says, fuck yeah.
Don't kink shame that flower.
I would never.
Well, the nitrogen's helping the plant grow.
Yep.
All right, back to you, Eric.
Back to me. All right. Facebook for Blind, doing our thing here. Oh, just a random thing I just want to bring up. The fact that Clarence Thomas's wife was one of the organizers of January 6th should be mentioned every time SCOTUS is in the news, in my humble opinion. And I didn't see a better person. I'm just going to throw that in here.
Agreed.
Hey, David Sirota says, hey, libs, this is the most important election of our lives. Becomes a much less compelling argument when you use the mandate of the last election to betray your campaign promises and pretend all elected officials in your party have no power to do anything. That wasn't as funny either. Hey, but Conan O'Brien says he just bought a COVID test on eBay that was gently used. Next, Schmitty Boudreau posts, I think alcohol should have a height requirement. 5'4" over. Cool. Y'all short chicks get drunk and instantly want a box. Want to thank friend of the show, Chris Hightower, for bringing Schmitty Boudreau to Champaign. Got to see him live. Very, very funny stuff. Next on Reddit here, it says job ads nowadays. Sorry if I repost. I didn't find it in search. Sid King says, looking for a caterpillar. Must have 5 years of experience as a butterfly and at least a master's degree. And Elizabeth Bond replies, this will be an unpaid position.
Always.
Got about 5 more in this vein, I think. Also from Reddit, says anyone relate to this? We have a guy saying, recruiting hell posts, put the salary in the job description. No one should have to take time off work to find out the job they're interviewing for pays significantly less than the one they already have. Which, I feel that pretty tight. And recruiting hell also posts, can you explain the gap on your resume? And the reply is, can you explain the gap in your staff? I've also seen a related one that's like where it asks for 3 references, and it's like, can I talk to 3 people who work here?
Yeah, Eric, I got one. I saw a meme a few weeks ago, and it said, can you explain the gap in your resume? And he said, yeah, that's when I carried you.
That's the best.
Oh my God. I just time traveled to like 5 different bathrooms where I've been reading that while peeing.
Yeah, right.
Again, I will. And I think that I might, because I read online that somebody actually did get asked, like recently too, about like, so there's this gap on your resume from like March to September of 2020. And they're like, yeah.
Man.
You explain that? Well, the whole industry stopped. Please.
I know, like I heard
It's
someone
industry, so there's that, like.
I heard someone the other day that had a complete misunderstanding of germ theory. I mean, entirely no understanding of how infectious disease worked at all. And I wanted to reach through the media and just yank them by the lapels and just go, how have you avoided the news? How have you avoided every piece of media for the last 2 years? How do you not understand infectious disease? How?
What happens is the germs, they get out of your lungs and they can get out in your cough, but you know what they can't get past through me is they can't get past Jesus. And that's
hey man, dude, if gargling Jesus works, I'm all for it. Okay.
I know the fuck what. I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't mean to just go on that shit, but fucking.
Listen, that I know people who argue that way, and it pisses me off because they act as though no Christian has ever died.
Right.
And
dude,
literally
so
all of them do. I mean,
and
they're human beings. Human beings
all-
die. I don't know.
Also, I live around the fucking street from the Tyrian Church. Actually, they put this shit on the sign on Green Street, and I think they recently switched it, but for a minute, like when I moved in, like for months and months they had it up. It said like blessed are the vaccinated and shit. And I know they did that shit to people, and I love that.
Yeah, that's dope.
I don't know who's left to troll in Urbana. I mean, if you're living in Urbana, I mean, then again, I don't know. Forget it. Forget I even said anything. Got 3 left, and I'm gonna hand it back to George. So here we go. The volatile mermaid says, caring about the gender of gingerbread men is the first time Fox News has ever defended brown people. Pretty fun, actually. That was actually a memory from Christmas 3 years ago. So, still good though. Evergreen. That's evergreen. There's an evergreen right there.
I got an evergreen right here.
Yeah. All right. 2 left. If you see someone crying, ask if it's because of their haircut.
Hey, now, for some people, that's a true story.
That is solid advice, is what I'm classifying that as.
Yeah,
right.
That's a true story.
And our final
Been there, done that.
Our final cut, rounding out Act 2 here. What just
Sorry. Go. I'm sorry. Do it.
I gotta click buttons and stuff. Jeez.
Oh,
all right, finally. Friend of the show, Jeff Cohen. Not following Jeff Cohen, you're missing out. I laughed to keep from crying as I watched Tucker Carlson last week orating about colleges across the country that were returning to what they call virtual learning, which is, of course, no learning at all. Thus spoke the guy who lectures millions of people electronically every night.
Yeah.
No learning at all.
Very rough.
Super
Hey, can we go back to the flower meme?
Hmm?
Who had the flower meme? The dandelion meme?
No,
We can't go back to
it's
it?
gone.
Oh.
After party, maybe. No.
Oh, I can't comment on it now? I have to comment on it later?
It's really gone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Super duper gone. Going into round 3 with George.
Let's try and find this meme again. I don't know where the fuck I was.
Oh.
The list of Facebook memes that I have is just for too long. All right. This one's because Andrew's not here. This is a tribute to him. This is gaming recommendation. If you like Sonic Adventure 2, you should try Getting Pegged. And
that's a great slam. Get pegged.
Oh, yeah. It is a great slam every time. It's a lot of fun. Smart man bases his political beliefs on his thoughts, but a wise one changes them depending upon who they are trolling. It's a political compass on all the political quadrants, which is a flawed system, but We're gonna get past it. That's a funny. It's very memeable. It's the most memeable political spectrum, and that's why it's going to be used the most. Here's one. We're going to make a rule to stop politicians from insider trading and their spouses. Their spouse. It's the Star Wars meme with Anakin
Nice.
saying something, and then Padme says yes, and their spouses, and then yes becomes disheartened there.
Nice.
I don't have a top engagement this week. It doesn't exist.
Oh.
I've ducked for like a whole month. I haven't been able to get on. Crayfish in the center console. This is a person who has placed 2 crayfish in water in their center console and a plant, which is and hypostomus plecostomus to eat the algae. Please don't take a sharp turn or it will affect the ecosystem.
That is definitely a biology PhD student right there.
I fucking love that this exists and hate that it exists at the same time. Those crayfish and that plant are definitely dead. Here's one. There's a man in a banana suit crying in front of a what appears to be a Walmart display of bananas. Is captioned with quote, "The worker sinks to the level of a commodity and indeed becomes the most wretched of commodities." Karl Marx.
That's awesome.
The most stupid, most literal interpretation.
I wish we could show that to Karl Marx.
Of this,
So he could be like, guys, what the fuck? No.
no, guys, no, that's not at all. Hold on. Let me check this thing real quick. I'm gonna do actually my top engagement. Here's my top engagement. This is the coolest thing that I did. I've not been on Facebook, but I've been fucking around on other stuff. And this is something that I tweeted with come on, screen share. There.
No, we're not doing post with the most yet, George. You gotta wait. That's next round, dude.
Yeah. That's the
Oh,
final
come on. We'll go then.
Yeah. And what do you keep saying? Top engagement? Do you mean penis pipe?
Most engagement, yes. Engage them. You get to do that. All right, yeah.
Back to me?
I don't have anything else. I've been
Okay, I'm going.
I have a bunch of other memes, but I can't. I haven't gone through them. I just joined this.
Sober.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Friend of the show, fucking sober. Post picture of a woman who's smiling so sweetly, and she's being kissed by another woman who is absolutely covered in blood. And it says, "Tired of looking at my part in things. Gonna blame everyone else now." Which, honestly, just stay sober. Good. The philosopher shirt. Great page. The_philosophers_shirt has a picture of a bumper sticker that says, "How am I driving? How does an engine even work? How can a loving God cost such agony?" This is my only other bumper sticker. I just put it next to it because I liked it. This is a Reddit from R Funny, and it says, "No baby on board. Feel free to drive into me." So preposterous, right? Don't crash into me. I have a baby on board. Fucking don't crash into me anyway.
Yeah.
I wanted to put this on because it's from friend of the show, Steve Shaberg. I read this comic today, and it's a picture of P. Diddy sleeping, and written across him in like bubble, like pink, like marshmallow letters. It says, "I wake up in the morning looking like P. Diddy." And I gotta say, if you're not following Steve Shaberg, you're missing out on some amazing comics. And and a lot of really funny jokes. So he's at Extra Napkins on Twitter, and this comic is really, really, really fucking good. I wake up in the morning looking like P. Diddy.
Nice.
Sounds like Kafka to me. This is from Unilad, said, woman runs over and kills examiner while taking driving test.
Oh, God.
Runs over and kills the examiner. The first comment says, did she pass? And somebody replied to her and said, he passed instead of her.
Oh!
So stupid.
Yeah.
So bad.
I'm going to have to translate this one because it's written in like British English or some bullshit. But it says, me, steals heart of a cute girl. And then there's a picture of a guy at the bottom. And it says, everyone else in the operating room. And it's just this guy with bug eyes. And it just says, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck. But this one says, everyone else in operation theater. I don't know. It's got to be in the operating room, right?
Theater of operations.
Theater of operations would be military. It wouldn't make any sense. It's got to be an operating room. It's the only way the joke works. This is a picture. It says, or it's two panels. The first one says the voice inside my head, and it's a picture of Buzz Lightyear. And then the next one is the voice in my recordings, and it's another almost Buzz Lightyear, but they're holding a light bulb in front of his face, and he just looks
Wow.
so stupid.
Yeah.
I know how that is. This is like a pretty classic meme format. It's a woman and a man. They're laying in bed and facing away from each other, and she's thinking he's probably thinking about fat bottom girls. And then it says him, and you look at the picture more closely and see it's Freddie Mercury.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely not thinking about any girls. That's for sure.
The joke is the fat bottom girls. Anyway, okay. This says, this is why I have trust issues. And on the left, we see a picture of what looks like a panda lollipop. And on the right, they've taken the wrapper off that lollipop, and you see the panda is just on the packaging. It's just a fucking white sucker. Yeah.
Such a fucking scam.
So
I would
just
be so scarred. So scarred. All right, knocking
this
it out.
is what did it.
Ripping through the last round here. We have Yoda, and his eyes are closed. And it says, once I became a parent, I finally understood the scene where Yoda gets so tired of answering Luke's questions, he just dies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've been that tired, man. Okay, this next one's from Workers' Party of Massachusetts. If you're not following Workers' Parties of Massachusetts, you are missing out. Friend of the show, Workers' Party of Massachusetts. They have retweeted Black to the Future saying, listen, no one is vilifying rich people. They are villains. If you run $1 billion company, give yourself millions in dollars in benefits, but pay your individual workers less than a living wage and give them shitty insurance, what are you if not a villain? And Gregory Tywald replies, you guys are getting insurance? Workers' Party of Massachusetts. If you're not following Workers' Party of Massachusetts, you're missing out. Friend of the show, Workers' Party of Massachusetts. Capitalists create wealth. And there's a picture of a tick. And it said, like ticks create blood. This next one, thank you to Andrew Shanklin, usual member of the show, who's not here tonight because he recommended images that could be edited onto the cover of Capital for humorous effect. And this is from CNN saying, despite the work/life balance buzz, disconnecting to spend time with your kids could severely impact your future wages. Yeah, once again, images that could be edited onto the cover of Capital for humorous effect. Disconnecting to spend time with your kids, sabotage your career. Thank you.
Great, that's big friends of the show. If you're not following them, you're missing out. Just could be edited onto the cover of Das Kapital.
God. Dude, I gotta tell you what, seriously, this is one of the funniest groups. Highly recommend. 5 stars.
Yeah,
all right.
very.
All right, moving on to a regular batch of disgruntled librarians, because man, these people are scary and need therapy. That's what I'm saying. If you're friends with librarians, check in on them. Okay, check in on them. Jennifer Lewis posting librarian memes with a guy smiling painfully, one of those fake smiles with the fake, thing. He just says, when you're 10 dangs, 20 yups, 6 wows, and 8 man, that's crazies into it, and they still won't stop talking. Ooh, I am in this meme. Okay, moving on. I got about 5 left here. Friend of the show, Rachel M. Lindy, recent comedian on the scene, repost a quote from Dorothy Parker saying, "You come right over here and explain to me why they're having another year." Dorothy Parker telegrammed Robert Benchley on New Year's Eve, 1929.
That's full of shit. Damn.
You come right over here and explain to me why they are having another year.
That's the most relatable shit I have fucking seen.
I love Dorothy Parker, and I am very happy that Rachel Lindy sent that one along because I appreciated it. Okay, moving on. Got about 5 more here. And then we'll get to my post with the most. Andy Zhao over on Twitter posts at Andy Zhao. Seinfeld today. Elaine spends 6 hours in a testing line. Jerry finds his new girlfriend less attractive with a mask off. George attends an anti-vax rally so he can get super immunity. And Kramer hoards rapid tests. It's like, man, that is exactly what Seinfeld would be doing.
Did you guys did anyone ever read the 9/11 Seinfeld spec script?
No.
Well, you can look that up online at any point. 9/11 Seinfeld spec script. Friend of the show. Got to check them out. If you're not reading it, you're missing out. I swear to God, it is one of the funniest fucking things that I've read. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away about it, but they basically get the plots exactly set up like that and then form them into a legitimate script for Seinfeld that you could shoot you couldn't, but
Wow.
Right.
if they did.
You could shoot it, but you couldn't air it, right?
But if they did,
Woo. That is such a degree of hyper focus. I am impressed. That person's Adderall prescription is on point. All right, moving on.
Yeah,
it's time for Tokes. Posted in friend of the show, Star Craig. If you're not following Star Craig, you're missing out. Reposted Haley OC saying, raw dogging the grocery store by going in high as fuck with no list.
Ooh.
Wow, that's
Been
quite
there.
a label.
That's how you end up with a whole bunch of shit you don't need.
Frail, but at the end, I'm going to bring that up. I want to ask to come back to that at the end.
All right, guys. 4 more and closing it out. Posted in our groups page, Facebook for the Blind, a weekly meme cast. And if you're not following our groups page, you are missing out because that's where we post the tastiest of these memes. Witty Idiot posts, we went from teachers, the most undervalued members of our society, to get into your poorly ventilated petri dish classrooms and teach whitewash history until it kills you, you glorified babysitters, real fucking quick.
Yeah.
Posted by Moneyless Society, and that is in our group. So follow the page on Facebook. 3 left. This is a picture of 2 people, one of whom has been run through by about 100 arrows, standing next to a guy in a suit of armor who's been pierced with 1 arrow. The suit of armor is labeled vaccine. The guy with 100 arrows is saying, see, an arrow hit you anyway. Looks like you didn't need armor after all.
Yep.
And this actually was inspired by an exchange by Fox News reporter Ducey and White House spokesperson Pizzacchi today that was just ludicrous. And if you want to see that exchange, just look at this cartoon. It's briefer and more intellectually stimulating. Okay, 2 left, and we are out. Friend of the show, Jamie Matthews McDaniels posts a repost from Sears Moskowitz saying, I am sad every time I'm forced to confront the fact that vermilion is a shade of red, not a shade of green. Wish it was green, though. Just feels like a green word. No, I won't explain. And I have to say, I felt seen. I thought it
I can't tell the difference between red and green.
Well,
vermilion was a yellow.
then you don't experience the pain that I feel every time I have to talk about vermilion, because it just feels green, like verdant. Okay,
In
my
my
final
world,
What
Christmas
the-
colors clash.
What the fuck? I just Googled vermilion and I'm so pissed off. What the fuck is this?
right?
That's garbage.
Right? Right? Although it should make sense because Vermilion County is a red county, and yet never connected. Never connected. All right,
It's
my
not-
final.
On that, on behind that though, it's a different tone. That's fucking lame.
And my final for this set, and I thought it was apropos that Nan asked if we ever create these. I wrote this one myself. Ohio Republican Jim Jordan refused a request for cooperation from the House Select Committee investigating the Capitol attack. Jordan used the phrase "an outrageous abuse." So in case you missed it, Google Jordan and abuse.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah.
By the way, too, I was going to amend that search and I was going to make it into a better one, but no, that works just fine. Jordan and abuse.
Yep.
All right, that's it, except for the post with the most.
George, am I to understand you don't have a post with the most?
I'm trying to figure out how to get the screen. There we go.
Eric, stop sharing.
Here.
Oversharing? You're saying I'm oversharing again?
Yeah.
Zoom. Yeah, allow display over other apps. Okay. So screen share, is that working there?
Yes.
All right, there we go. So I haven't had any Facebook engagement, but I did tweet at David Cross and Bob Odenkirk, and David Cross liked my tweet. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Mr. Show predicting the future, or there's a series of things in their skits that have shown up and been later happened in real life or later revealed to happen in real life. Like the most surprising one was that there was a government plan to like nuke the moon for essentially no reason. And it was like a big joke in the show. Like they were going to do it and everyone was super excited about it. And they were like, why? And then it was just like, what the fuck? What do you mean, why? But they were going to do it and there really was no real reason. It was almost like exactly on point. And then there are like several other examples. But the tweet that I sent was because I was watching Pluto TV and I saw this show called Sex Box, where people talk to some sex therapists on a couch, couples that are supposedly, like having problems. And these sex therapists say some stuff that's constructive and some stuff that's like, TV rating shit. And then they have these people go in the sex box and just have some sex and try to confront the problem that they're having sexually. And then they come out and then talk about it. And this is actually like a Mr. Show skit from 1995 that they did. Yeah. So staff engagement, I would say personally, that was fun.
And by top engagement, you mean penis pipe, right?
Yeah, penis pipe. That was the penis pipe of the week.
Yeah.
All right. My post with the most is at Pieter Cinder, says Biquette the goat sold to an abattoir after she stopped producing milk, but was rescued by punks and then spent 10 years watching grindcore bands. She could come and go as she pleased. And in the words of her rescuers, escaped death, lived punk. Absolute legend. And then there's just this picture of this fucking goat at all these grindcore punk shows. And then people are just standing around and then there's a goat. I guess sometimes she watched the band, sometimes she didn't.
That's awesome.
If that goat started getting hyped to the music, it would fuck people up in a pit.
Dude, her ears are perked up for sure. Yeah, but if she started kicking and headbutting, I'd be fucking out of there. I'm not tough
Yeah,
enough
what
to
they don't
knock
tell
off
you,
with a
she's
goat.
probably deaf. She's probably deaf though. Anyways.
Heavy fucking downer. Okay, fuck. Dude, she's probably dead now too. Jesus.
All right. Closing out the show with the segment that we like to call our top engagement, or our post with the most, or our penis with the meanest, I think is what we're calling it this time. Crying Wojak meme on mine that I just posted, I think today, from Workers' Party of Massachusetts. And the crying Wojak is saying, women won't date me because I'm a conservative. The strong man is replying, that's a great reason.
Yep.
Yeah, I dig it.
It's always been a great reason.
And that is essentially, ladies and gentlemen, an episode of Facebook for the Blind for January 10th, 2022.
Woo! Love you, George.
Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.